Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me for the Champions League final. It's an all-German final as Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund take on Peyton's Borussia M'Gladbach. The last time Mönchengladbach found themselves in the Champions League final was in the season 1976 to 1977, where they went on to lose 3-1 against Liverpool. But that could all change here today once the referee blows the whistle for the final time in this match. Once 90 minutes are over, it could be Mönchengladbach lifting that Champions League trophy high above their heads. The last time these two teams met was at Borussia Park, where Mönchengladbach drew 2-2 with Dortmund, but they have already beaten Dortmund earlier in the season. They beat them twice last year as well, so Mönchengladbach being considered the strong favourites for this final, although Dortmund do have a very strong team out there this evening. Immobile starts up front with Mkhitaryan just dropping behind in that number 10 role. Sahin and Bender in central midfield, and Hummels and Socrates as the two centre-halves. There is no sign of Marco Reus. He doesn't even start on the bench this evening. For Mönchengladbach's lineup, Sommer starts in goal. De Jong just sits in front of the back four in support. They've got Traore and Patrick Hamann fully fit for this. Junuzovic in the number 10 role, Max Kruse and Berahino. Berahino being the top goal scorer for Mönchengladbach and the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga, coming away with the Golden Boot with 19 goals to his name. Your referee today, Grant Lindham from England, and we are set to go here, ladies and gentlemen, for the Champions League final. Dortmund against Mönchengladbach. I will admit, I was looking forward to Marco Reus starting this game, going up against his former side with so much on the line. The Champions League final, and the ball is in possession of Dortmund. Durm finding Bender now. They're getting off to a good start here. Sahin up to Immobile. Immobile finds Durm on the left here, looking to maybe swing it across. Sahin does, and it's Santana, the big guy at the back for Mönchengladbach, that gets his body in the way. Clearing the danger as easy as you like. Traore now finding Nigel de Jong, who's been an absolute rock. The one that commands the midfield. The one that pulls all the strings. The one that keeps things ticking over for Mönchengladbach in that central defensive mid-role. And Junuzovic, another player that seems to have settled in just nicely with just a season under his belt at his new club. Even scoring quite a few important goals along the way. That is going to be a free kick to Borussia Dortmund. Socrates to take it. He's going to hoof that upfield into the penalty area. Willems clears. Traore, there's a bit of space now, a bit of time for Mönchengladbach to get moving. Berahino dispossessed by Bender. It's Bender who seems to be looking lively for Dortmund at the moment. It'll be him that Immobile will be relying on to feed the ball forwards and try and create something for Dortmund. And Piszczek now looking for a quality ball into the box, but there is a deflection there from Willems, and it is going to be a corner. Błaszczykowski to take. We could possibly be seeing the first goal here with just under 10 minutes gone. Hummels throwing himself in there, risking everything, and it's Junuzovic who blasts the ball away, trying to clear the danger, but it's still lingering. Not anymore, as Traore intercepts, picking out Max Kruse, who's worked wonders alongside Berahino this season, even helping him get those 19 goals to his name. Who would have thought that Mönchengladbach would be here in the Champions League this season, that they just qualified. Here we go, Immobile with an opportunity, and he has a go on goal, but it's closer to the corner flag than the goal itself. Wasn't even working some of that. Bit disappointing on his part. But who would have thought that Mönchengladbach would have been here in the Champions League final? Nice bit of play here, good cracking movement, and Berahino getting himself into some space here. Berahino has a shot and it just goes wide, squandering a perfect opportunity there. We know that his left foot isn't his best, just scuffs the ball on the outside of his boot there. But going back to what I was saying about Mönchengladbach, getting to this stage of the Champions League, I never thought it was going to happen. You know, they had a tough group handed to them, with Real Madrid and Arsenal thrown in there, but yet they still managed to come out on top. They actually went on to win the group And then in the knockout stages, they were drawn against PSG. They had to play them home and away, of course. Came out on top. It was a very dominant performance in that away fixture. Who would have thought against such a top side like PSG with the players they have, like Ibrahimovic and Cavani and Verratti and so on. But yet, Mönchengladbach came away with a 3-0 win. Very dominant display from them as De Jong cuts out that move from Dortmund. And then as they progressed in the competition, they came up against Atletico Madrid. Bit of a tougher opposition, but yet again, they still managed to win and book a place in the next round. They came up against Juventus. They put them to bed, which sees them here now facing Dortmund. Dortmund did well as well against the most successful side in Europe, Real Madrid, to get here today in this final. Berahino now has room. He's got options. Junazovic hits it first time. Weidenfeller saves it but couldn't hold on to it. And it's Traore that puts the ball into the back of the net. Mönchengladbach in the lead. 23 minutes gone. It's Ibrahima Traore that gets the opening goal. It was a nice move. Berahino could see Junazovic just outside the penalty area. He struck the ball first time as he received it. Weidenfeller, it was such a powerful shot from Junazovic. He couldn't hold on to it. And that's what let them down there. Traore just getting ahead of the defender. Getting a nice simple touch on the ball. It kind of looks like it comes off his shin. Just lifting it over the reach of Weidenfeller. Stopping him from getting a fingertip to the ball and tipping it wide. But there we go, we've got our first goal of this season's Champions League final, and it goes to Mönchengladbach. They are in the lead, and some would say that maybe they don't deserve that, but they did well to hit Dortmund on the break with such speed, such aggression, and that's what's going to see them lift that trophy if they can keep that up. Junazovic finding Patrick Aman with a nice little cheeky back heel. They've played exceptionally well this season to finish second as well. Not far behind Bayern Munich, and I certainly expect a title challenge come next season. Mkhitaryan finds Immobile, who hits on the volley. Wow, what a save from Sommer. Would have been some goal that, but Sommer just stopping the ball in its tracks and gobbling it up, keeping the game at 1-0, keeping his team in the lead. Berahino now. Nice ball over the top to Max Kruse. Great vision. Max Kruse going for a shot here. And he had Weidenfeller beaten, but the ball was just on the wrong side of the post. Now, going back to what I was saying about Mönchengladbach, if they do go on to win here tonight, win that Champions League trophy, I'm sure a huge cash injection will be in place. Ready for a summer spending spree. We already know that Jan Vertonghen from Tottenham Hotspur and also Tolgai Arsian will be joining on a free. They've already signed the pre-contract, so we know that those two will be signing. But apart from that, who knows who else will sign for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I'm sure winning the Champions League and also being in the Champions League next year will attract many high-profile players. That's a nice ball there from De Jong, finding Raphael. Just nice simple passing. They're really getting down to their game now, Mönchengladbach. They've certainly grown into it. As we're past the half-hour mark, Sahin just picking out his options. Błaszczykowski seems as though he's pushed over onto the left now. That's interesting. Mobile to Bender. And Junazovic steals the ball. And there is time here now, but I'm not sure what Junazovic was doing. He did have Max Kruse to his left. He was wide open. Immobile up to the left now to Błaszczykowski, who brings it back in, and it's Immobile who's unable to get on the end of that with his head. Immobile again has a shot. It's 1-1 as he does find the back of the net. Sommer has been beaten, and this game is wide open yet again. What a time to score just before half time, changing the landscape of this game. Good bit of play from Borussia Dortmund, back and forth. Nice, quick, snappy passing. That's what's going to see them through. Eventually, Santana, the one to blame there. He was right in front of Immobile. Why he didn't go in and make a challenge, I'm not too sure. He just jumped up, hoping that his body would deflect the ball completely. But it just wasn't to be, as Dortmund are right back in it with the equaliser. Raphael looking to get an attack going again for Mönchengladbach. Maybe go and get a second goal just before half-time. Certainly changed things here. We've got a free kick. Raphael's going to take it. He's going to whip that into the box. And he's looking for the head of Willems, who isn't the tallest of guys. So he was beaten there with that challenge. Immobile had no options, having to pass back to Durm. And that is going to be a free kick to Dortmund. A challenge was made on Durm. A few elbows flying here and there. He's going to hoof that upfield, finding Immobile. Good header, looking for Błaszczykowski. Raphael back to his keeper. Got to go back to go forwards, I suppose. Willems, Traoré. They have many options on the bench as well. Mönchengladbach come the second half. And that's a good pass from Berahino. If Patrick Amann could keep that in, he does with ease. And he beats his man. Looking to make it 2-1 maybe. But Mats Hummels with a very crucial touch of the ball, knocking Patrick Amann off his game. And the ball is back in the possession of Dortmund. And that's a good challenge there from Raphael. It does go out for a throw. We can get this game restarted. Błaszczykowski. We are about to go in for half-time. Can't imagine the referee's going to hold on for too much longer. Not sure what Hummels was planning on doing there, but it seems to have worked out. He's passed the ball down the touchline. They're just focusing in this area, Dortmund. Using the flanks to their advantage. Mkhitaryan finds Bender. They're just patiently passing it around, and they're doing so well, Dortmund. Piszczek desperately trying to get the ball into the box. They did take a deflection there, the ball, so it is going to be a corner. One final chance of the first half, I'm sure. And the ball right under the nose of Sommer, and it is cleared by Berahino, and there it is. That is the half-time whistle. Both teams go in level at the break. It's Dortmund 1, Mönchengladbach 1.
So we reach half-time. It's nicely balanced with the score 1-1. Let's take a look back at the highlights from that first half, and then we'll be back over your commentary team for the second half.
Welcome back, everyone, for the second half of the Champions League final between Dortmund and Mönchengladbach. Yes, that's right. It's an all-German final. Both teams went in at the break with the game being at 1-1. They both need to focus now for the last 45 minutes. It could possibly go into extra time, maybe even penalties if it stays this way. They both need to stay focused, especially Mönchengladbach if they want any chance of coming away from this game with their first ever Champions League trophy. Dortmund's pushing for something here. And it's Mkhitaryan who has a shot. Oh, what a save. The ball took a deflection off Santana, causing Sommer to go the other way, but he still managed to save it. The ball rolling out for a corner instead of going into the goal. Dortmund's given another chance here, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. Did look like the ball took a deflection there off the head of Raphael, but no. Sommer steps up, he takes it short, giving it to Willems. That's a warning sign for Mönchengladbach. They don't want to be chasing this game against a team like Dortmund. And now Berahino feeding the ball through for Junuzovic. And back to Berahino, who just can't get in front of Mats Hummels, who gets there in time. Berahino making a nuisance of himself there. They've done so well, Mönchengladbach. They've shown how quick they can move the ball forwards and hit the opposition on the break. But here come Dortmund now at the other end. Going to whip across in now. It's going to be Mkhitaryan going in for a header. And the referee, Grant Lundum, has awarded Dortmund a penalty. There is going to be a penalty here. I'm not too sure what for, though. I think that's a poor decision from the ref. Mkhitaryan going down. We're going to see that again. It's Santana that concedes the penalty. He goes in with that header trying to clear the ball. It was just a slight coming together of bodies. I don't think that was a penalty there. I think the referees made the wrong decision there, as Kagawa comes on to replace Mkhitaryan, who's won the penalty for Dortmund. And now Dortmund have a perfect chance of getting their nose in front in this Champions League final against Borussia M'Gladbach. Immobile steps up and takes, and he finds the back of the net. He converts the penalty into a goal. It is 2-1. And now it's all over to Mönchengladbach to try and find a way back into this game. Just before the hour mark, Dortmund going absolutely wild, and who can blame them? They could be on for winning the Champions League trophy this season. Mönchengladbach will certainly feel cheated there by the referee. I certainly don't think that should have been a penalty. It was just a slight clash between Santana and Mkhitaryan, and now Mönchengladbach, they're going to have to try and fight back, try and find a way back into this game. Berahino now He's going to give that to Max Kruse, who's just closed down so quickly. The marking so tight from Dortmund. Nicely done there. Traore finding Junuzovic. They're just shutting up shop now. They've been pressed so hard. Dortmund. Traore again to De Jong just outside the penalty area. And that's a nice little back flick, but it didn't work out for him as he was looking for Patrick Amann. And De Jong continues to pursue the ball, and he does well with the challenge there. It does go out for a throw for Dortmund, though, and they're going to make a sub. On comes Romaron for Immobile. I'm very surprised that Klopp has taken Immobile off. He was on for his hat-trick. What a strange decision from Klopp. Why on earth would you take off your best player on the pitch that scored both goals that could possibly see you lift that Champions League trophy? That seems very odd to me. And also, I'm very surprised that Ramos didn't start this game. He scored 2 goals against Mönchengladbach earlier in the season, back at their home ground. He was nowhere to be seen, just like Marco Reus. Both haven't really got any injuries. They were fit for the game. So whether that's an indication of them leaving in the summer, not too sure just yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. Now Max Kruse on the ball. He's going to give that one back to Junuzovic, who has space and time. Berahino just in the offside position there. Wins the ball back though. Berahino is hardly been able to get anything going for him this evening. They've been so tight at the back, Dortmund. They've defended that goal with their life. Berahino down to Patrick Amann, who loses out, and Durm's going to chase it down with Raphael. Look at Raphael going like the clappers, trying to win it back. The ball is back in the possession of Mönchengladbach. Someone needs to be careful here. Romaron, who's very quick off the ball and also on. Nice touch there from Kruse to find Berahino. It just doesn't seem as though there's anything going for Mönchengladbach at the moment. Raphael with a bit... he's lost out there. We are going to see a substitution then for Mönchengladbach. On comes Thorgan Hazard, who returned back to Mönchengladbach in January from Chelsea for the sum of 7.5 million. And also Hergota, who is being branded as the super sub for Mönchengladbach. As we've seen so many times, he's come off the bench and scored some crucial goals. Why that wasn't a free kick for Mönchengladbach, I don't know, as Raphael went down. But there is going to be a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area for Dortmund as Kagawa is challenged. He's taken down to the ground. It's going to be Hummels to step up and take this. Very odd to see that. And he takes it short. Campbell to Bender. Campbell again. Nice little 1-2 there. Kagawa finding Blaszczykowski. Mönchengladbach, they need to be very careful. Grant Lindum has already given away 1 penalty. They certainly don't want to have another one go against them. Kagawa really added an extra spark to the game. The former Manchester United guy. Durm finding Bender. Just passing all over the place. And there was space there for Kagawa to maybe take the ball into the box himself and have a go. But unselfish-like, hands it down to the left side. And now here goes Traore. He's just lost out as he took on more than he intended to do down the left side. And it's just all in favour of Dortmund. It's just one-way traffic at the moment. Mönchengladbach have failed to even get a shot on target this second half. Bender is taking it to the corner as we are just under 10 minutes to go until that final whistle is blown. My, how the time has flown for this Champions League final. Can Mönchengladbach dig deep? Can they find something in this second half? Can they possibly take this game now into extra time? I think that's their only possible outcome that they can hope for here now. Maybe even take it into the dreaded penalties. And Traore, he has Willems to his left. Opts to pass it to Santana. Patrick Amann, who's been one of the central figures for Mönchengladbach in this season's Champions League campaign, has failed to create anything. He's failed to get anything going for him and his team in this Champions League final. Very disappointing for Patrick Amann, and I'm sure he'll be kicking himself once that whistle is blown for the final time. And Romaron could have chased that ball down, but opts not to. Rajkovic over the top, looking for Berahino, who just hits it. That's the first official shot on target they've had in the second half, and it comes from Berahino, and it wasn't even a very powerful shot. He just brought it down, light touch. Sometimes, though, that's all it takes to find the back of the net. Not this time though. Hard to hear anything at the moment as the Dortmund fans wanting the referee to blow his whistle. They want this game over. They want to win it. They want to win the Champions League trophy, and they are so close to doing so. Unless Mönchengladbach can put a stop to it. Willems finding Traore, but he's just overhit it as Traore can't get to it. And we're just down to the last couple of minutes. Dortmund, they've done so well in this second half. They've kept their shape. They've stayed disciplined. And Mönchengladbach have one more sub to make. With just minutes to go, is it worth it? They need to do something if they want a chance of lifting that trophy above their heads. Referee with the advantage to Dortmund. Bender, they're just wasting time. Blaszczkowski is going to look to take this one to the corner now, maybe with Bender. Yeah, can see the Mönchengladbach players hounding, and there is a chance now for Mönchengladbach. Can they come up with something? Hagota, look at the space he's been given. Gives it to Berahino, and he's lost out to Durm. Surely that was the last opportunity for Mönchengladbach. The referee holding back, and there we go. That is the final whistle. It is confirmed that this season's Champions League winners are Borussia Dortmund. Commiserations for Mönchengladbach. They did well to get to this stage, to get to the final of the Champions League. And they'll be hoping to get here again, this time next season. Mönchengladbach will certainly feel cheated in this game after Grant Linden, the referee, awarded that very controversial penalty, which saw Immobile go on and score the winning goal, which sees them here now on this platform, ready to lift the Champions League trophy. An amazing final, an amazing way to end this season. The question is, will Mönchengladbach be able to do it all over again? Will they get to this stage next season? Ladies and gentlemen, the Champions League winners of 2015-2016, Borussia Dortmund. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from me. I hope that you've all enjoyed this extra long episode of the Champions League final in this career mode on FIFA 15 with Mönchengladbach. I'll see you all very soon for the start of Season 3. Thanks for watching.